Hello everyone, it's Gojira Prime here with a little video, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Universe 2008 Overload. This is a repaint of the Transformers Cybertron upgraded form of Scattershot, and if I'm honest, for a good long while this was one of my favorite toys from the Transformers modern line. I think it's just a really good all-round figure. But moving on, as always, we'll take a look at the vehicle mode first, then we'll do the robot mode, and then we'll do some size comparisons. So the vehicle mode is this missile launching tank. I think it's based on a Russian design. Could be wrong there. But you've got some very nice camouflage detail all the way along the vehicle. Nice shade of green and brown. Autobot logo here with these numbers here. I'm not actually sure what these numbers mean. All these years I've had this tank mode, I have no idea what those numbers mean. I'll have to find out at some point. Got a bit of translucent red plastic there, which doesn't really serve any purpose. I think it's just meant to be like a window thing. And then you've got these tread things here, which actually form the feet in robot mode, which you can move up and down. Now, what's really good for this tank mode is that the turret, or the missile launching bit here, is actually comprised of the arms of the robot mode, but they're not fixed in place. You can actually lift them up like that, and you can also give them a full 360-degree spin as well, which is really, really nice. The tracks on the tank mode are molded plastic only. They don't actually go round. There are little tiny wheels on the bottom there. When you do flip him upside down, there is a bit of robot kibble for the chest and the legs there, but nothing that really spoils the enjoyment. And it does roll very, very nicely. You even have some nice molded details at the front here, and you can actually see the tips of the individual rockets that this guy would carry in him. When you do lift up, I just realized that's mistransformed. When you do lift up the bit there, you can see his back and again his legs, and you can see the bits for his arms there. But again, that's not a major problem at the end of the day. Now, with this being a Transformers Galaxy Force or Cybertron toy, sorry. There's a lot of cybers these days in TV shows. You can use a Cyber Planet key, which you can plug into the back of the arms here to activate the additional functions. So in one arm, like that, and then in another arm, like that, if it works. There we go. And you've got a couple of different options to go with the character. On this arm, you've got this massive long cannon here, which doesn't shoot missiles or anything like that. And then on this side, you've got another blaster here, which does fire missiles out on these bits here, but I'm not going to do it because I don't want to lose the missiles. And again, you have a nice little translucent red target reticle thing here as well, which is quite nice. Just fold that back all up. Now, I have to be honest, this is probably not the Cyber Planet key for this character. You do get a Cyber Planet key with him, but I don't know which one it is at the moment because I have a load of them just in a box, and this is one I just grabbed. You do also have his cannon, or his handheld weapon here, modelled in a green plastic. And get the focus. There we go. Looks very nice. Kind of like I'd say it reminds me of the Clone Troopers rifle, actually, now that I think about it. Now, this will also go into him in vehicle mode. You've got these pegs here and here. And what you can do is you can take the rifle, which has a hole there, and just plug it into that one there. You can plug it into the other side as well, but then it's upside down. So that's it for the vehicle mode. A really good, solid, chunky tank mode. I've said this in another video, I think I said as well. All the Cybertron toys, I think, or a lot of them were really very good. They were big, they were chunky, they were designed to be played with at the end of the day. And I do think that is something that is missing from the kids' line of Transformers toys at this moment in time. The toys are too small, they're a little too fiddly. But this one was designed for kids in the early 2000s, and it's big and it's chunky, and it's a sizable piece of plastic as well at the end of the day. So I'll pause the video, get him transformed, and we'll take a look at the robot mode. Okay, so here we have Overload in his robot mode. And again, this is a really nice robot mode. It's big, it's chunky, it has a lot of nice molded detail. It does obviously lack a little bit in regard to articulation, but that's nothing unusual for a toy from this time. So let's take a look at him. So first off, we've got the face sculpt. And if I can get it to focus in, it would help. There we go. So very nice face sculpt. Bit of translucent red there on the head as well, which would be his goggles for some reason. Don't know why I needed them. And then just going down the figure as well. Lots of nice molded details. You've got an Autobot logo there on the crotch for some reason. Don't know why. And then all the tank bits are visible on this, obviously, but none of them get in the way of the transformation process, and none of them get in the way of any of the limbs moving. These tank sides can pop off a little bit, but it's nothing too serious. They just clip right back on. So articulation-wise, the arms are on a nice swivel ratchet there, full 360 on both of them. The head can go up and down like this, but that's more to do with, I can just move his arm, more to do with that peg section there because it's part of the transformation process. But it does move a little bit from side to side also. Hands, no articulation in the hands themselves. It's just a piece of molded plastic, but that's not really a problem at the end of the day. You do have movement at the elbow and another nice ratchet joint. The legs can go all the way forward. They can go all the way back. You do have some bend at the knee. Oh, sorry, that was a really tight joint there. This hasn't been transformed in a very long time, so the joints are still really, really stiff on mine. And then the feet, you do get some articulation. They can move up and down, but again, that's more to do with the transformation process more than anything. So, the Cyberplanet key, again, will work all the additional functions. So if we just pop out his large super cannon there, and then again, you just plug it into there, and you get the other missile port. Now, if you're having these out, you are going to have to straighten up the arms quite a bit, and then he can use both sets of weaponry. Like so. So he's heavily armed to the teeth. You know, he's got rocket launchers on each arm and cannons in them as well, which is really, really cool. Oh. That's the one problem I do have sometimes. The spring load mechanism, these can sometimes not want to cooperate. And then you've got his rifle, which can go in either hand in the 5mm port, like so. So again, he can hold that too as well. So all in all, quite a fair bit of additional features on this guy. Again, you've just got to make sure. I think I just fired a missile off there. Yeah, just fired one of the missiles off by accident. So, all in all, a really nice robot mode. Lots of nice detail. Paint's very, very nice. And you get a decent amount of articulation for him for a figure that size. Now, I'm just going to leave him standing there like that. And we'll do a few size comparisons. So here he is with Goldbug. And as you can see, there's quite a size difference between him. Here he is with Combaticon Brawl. Still bigger than Brawl. Here he is with Dirge. And again, this is a modern Voyager. That's an old school Voyager. Bit of a size difference between the two, to say the least. So, in 2026, if you saw Universe Overload on the shelf, is he worth getting? I think he is. I think even if you're if you're into one specific era of Transformers, he might not fit in with your collection. Unless, of course, you're collecting Cybertron, in which case, obviously, because this is a Cybertron repaint, it will fit in perfectly with your Cybertron collection, as would any of the other figures from the Universe line that were repaints of those figures. But even that, I still think, when you put him on the shelf next to a figure like Dirge here, I still think he looks really, really good. So even if you're just a modern general collector of Transformers, I think this figure would appeal to you. It looks good on the shelf. It's got a good alternate mode. It's got a good robot mode. And I just think it would work on a modern day shelf as well. But yeah, if you're into Cybertron, then yeah, this guy's definitely going to appeal to you because he's a repaint of Scattershot. And I think even if you're a modern Transformers fan, you're just a general Transformers fan, I think this figure would definitely appeal to you as well. So if you do see him, and I imagine you can get him for fairly cheap, pick him up, have a play with him, see what he's like. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. But let me know in the comments section, have you got this version, or the original Scattershot version, or the Drop Shot version? Because they actually repainted this guy as a Decepticon as well. Did you like him? Did you hate him? Let me know in the comments section. Hit like, hit subscribe, and thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video.